Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Lee from Creative Lee on Sunday 17 May. FLOSSTUBE number 26. Crazy, huh? I thought, because I feel like it, I'm going to do a little giveaway later on, so hang in to the end there. It's an older chart that, but someone might like it. And it's just lying around and needs to be gone. So yeah, a little bit to get through today. I will try and be a bit quick because I don't want, if I keep my videos around 30-40 minutes, they don't take so long to upload. The closer they get to an hour, the longer they take. So I'm trying to, also, you know, not that much to show. But anyway, we went to level 2 on Thursday, which means some freedom. I basically took Thursday and most of Friday off as annual leave, and Thursday was the 3 C's: coffee, car and colour. Coffee, I met a couple of friends for coffee one in the morning, and then I had my car booked in for a service at a Warrant of Fitness, and it passed with flying colours. I hadn't taken it for a service I'd missed my last service, so it was really overdue, and having sat around here for the best part of 7 weeks, the battery was a bit, so got it fully all charged up and everything done, so it's all good for me for driving north soon. I don't know when, but when I drive up for my dad. Then colour, got the greys disappeared, very happy with that. So having had my hair appointment booked in, I managed to basically get my hair done first, on the first day we went to level 2, so it's fantastic. I then also had dinner with another friend, my friend Tracy. Hey Trace. I've got a little more Tracy news in my video later. But it didn't start with C, so she made pizza and I brought ice cream, and we had a lovely little catch up after a number of weeks of us both being pretty isolated. It was nice to spend time with people. And then Friday I made a cheesecake, a New York style cheesecake with a raspberry sauce, and I took that around to our friends and they made pizza. They've got a pizza oven, so we had pizza and company. So we're allowed to socialise up to 10 people, and we had 7, so we were all good. And it was lovely. It was just so lovely to be not in my house and to do other things. My eyebrows doing weird things. Okay, I'm at that stage in life where I have white eyebrow hairs, which is just, if I pluck them out I'll be bald. So I don't know when I'll get I might shut myself to a brow dye. The light is I've got all the blinds up, so it's a very harsh light. Maybe that might help a little. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Dad update, he's still in, he's in Waikato Hospital, and he is fine. Have done a whole lot of tests. They've handed him from cardiac ward over to surgical. He doesn't have a date yet, but he expects it'll be this week coming to have his surgery, and we haven't heard otherwise, so we're guessing it's still triple bypass and a valve replacement. He has still got to have vein mapping done, so not sure when that's been done. I did ask a friend of my sister's to pop in and visit him. She visited him on Friday, so he rang and said it was nice to see somebody. He's pretty happy because he's talking to people. Like after 7 weeks of isolation, he's got company, which is, even if it is a nurse coming to do his obs, but he's good. Basically, in summary, they're not doing emergency surgery. It's just because he ended up in hospital having whatever, an angina attack or whatever it was that he called the ambulance. They're basically, the Waikato Hospital where they do heart surgery said, if you get him here, we'll do him. So basically they've just popped him to the top of the list for public surgery. So yeah, anyway, he should have it this week. He then has to be in hospital for 5 to 8 days, and then he can't go home until he's got someone to stay with him. So I will go up at some stage and stay with my friend's my sister's friend for a few days. and then drive him home and then have him be at home with him for 2 or 3 weeks. I can work from his house, and I'll just work it out. So haven't rushed up yet, because I mean basically he's fine, and he's probably bored and, you know, sick of being in hospital, but he's fine, you know. So I'll just wait until he's had his surgery and then go up, you know, maybe day 4 or something, when he starts to feel better, and I don't know. Anyway, that's the update on Dad. So he's doing good. Last week was a bit rough, but, well, I mean, especially Monday, I had no sleep on Sunday, and I was just really worried about him, and it's more about the not knowing and the anxiety, and so your Monday was hard, but anyway. And then I got some happy mail, so I might have mentioned that someone was going to share some silk with me, so thank you, Barb. Barb sent me a lovely happy mail package, because I had mentioned how I really needed to get some black silk for a couple of projects, but my preference would be Silks for You, but they didn't have any silk, so they were waiting on a silk shipment. Good news, Joe's announced that their silk is on its way. It's got to go through 3 different flights to get to Australia, but through no direct flights from China or wherever it's coming from, but there is silk on its way, so she should be able to get some silk back in the shop, you know, sometime. I think a couple of weeks ago she was worried she might not get silk at all. But anyway, so Barb had messaged me and said, I can send you some silk. I've got a whole heap of, got too much. Would you like it? I went, that's really lovely. So she sent me their black, not 1, but 2. So she's just pulled a whole heap off of her hank. So there's tons there, definitely enough, more than enough for me to do the black on hoity toity. And then she also said, I've got these other colours, would you like them? So she's shared with me these lovely colours of silk, and my mind is like, I'm planning things, and I just am amazed at her generosity, and I did cry a little bit because it had been overwhelming the week. So this teal is just blended. Okay, on the screen I see now it looks bluer than it is in my hand. It's greener. However, you often, when I say, oh, it doesn't look like what I see on screen, and then I watch the video back and it's more like it is. They're all showing a little, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's PR 121. This is brown. PR 62. PR 41. PR 111. PR 57. And it's natural, and then the black is 70, I think, yeah, PR 70. So thank you again, Barb, just absolutely amazing. And yeah, I do have some plans for some of this, and they're just percolating in my head, and once anyway, I'm just overwhelmed by it, so thank you very much. And a lovely little note, which I won't show, but yeah, thank you very much. So that arrived, and then my Fijoa fabric arrived for that I'm going to use for Hoity Toity. Now it's a little yellower than what I thought. Hang on, let me find it. I've got a pile of stuff here. So I thought it would be a little greener. However, I still think it's really lovely, and I'm still really happy to use it. I just adjusted in my head. So I got 36, I got a custom cut, so I don't have any leftover. Custom cut of Edinburgh, so 36, so this is it here. And yeah, that is the good side. Let me have a look. Which is the side? Yeah, this side's probably the side I will use. So that is for Hoity Toity. I haven't printed it yet, so I mean most people will know what it looks like, right? Go have a look. So I'll show you the only colours that I might end up changing from what I already pulled. These are my colour swatches. Might be sort of, I think they're okay though. A couple of these sort of naturally colours, but I think they'll be fine. But I think that like the greens look good, the blues have a nice contrast, the kind of, you know, these sort of tones. I think that it's going to look pretty good. So I need to print the pattern because I don't work on, I mean I can work on small PDFs on my phone, but I like to print this kind of chart, so I need to print it. And I've got my black silk on there ready, or some black silk, I'll need more than that. And yeah, Hoity Toity Long Dog sampler, so it's ready. Basically you've got to print the chart, and I've ironed it, it is ready for, oh yeah, again, country stitch, Fijoa. I just need to, it's a June start, so I can start it on 1 June. I will take this up with me north, so when I'm looking after Dad I'll work on it. It might be my primary piece I work on while I'm up there, if I can wait till 1 June, but I'm going to try and wait till 1 June because, you know. But yeah, it's put it into my favourite zombie bag, so I'm ready to go with that. I'm very excited. So yeah, it was good to get, I got that custom cut really quick. So that was all kitted up, ready to go. My Red Deer sampler chart, I haven't heard from this, I don't want to name them, I'm giving them the opportunity to reply, but I'm a bit, like, it's a weird time, so I don't want to be too hard on people with their customer service, but I haven't heard from them, and I sent an email, and I can't log into the site, it won't accept my password, and it won't let me reset my password. I just keep getting circular errors, so, and I've emailed them saying, look, I can't log in. Haven't heard from them. If they could just let me know an ETA on when they might be shipping my chart, and just checking. They said they're open for mail order only, which I did mail order, so haven't heard when that's coming. For all I know, it'll be in the mailbox next week, right? They just don't, it could be that just don't let people know or track, but it's been a couple of weeks, so I'm hoping there's not a problem. Anyway, we'll see. I don't need it, I want it, you know. It's the only, there's only 2 things, oh, there are only 2 orders that I've got outstanding. One was that one, which is the Red Deer sampler pattern, which, you know, going to fit in July or August, I can't remember. And the other one was a kitten stitcher. So I think I mentioned last week my kitten stitcher chart had been sitting in Miami forever. Well, we had movement. 8th of May had gone to Houston. So I ordered it, I think it shipped on the 15th of April. It sat in Miami from the 17th of April to the 7th of May. I just wrote this down because it was fun. Houston, it got to Houston on the 8th of May. It departed LA on the 10th of May. And basically, I got an update, 17th of May, it was processed through Auckland. So I'll probably have that on Tuesday. So that'll be something to show for next week, I guess. What my fabric, my grandpa's sleeve, I think it is, and a chart, which is not what the fabric's for. So yeah, finally, 15th of April, 17th. So it's gonna probably have taken 5 weeks to get here. Crazy times, right? But that's pretty exciting. So yeah, the only thing that is currently out in the wilderness not knowing where it is my Red Deer sampler chart. So, shall we do some stitching stuff? Showing you kind of happy mail and haul. I have a finish. I finished in Friendship, which I was stitching on 36 Merino linen from Country Stitch. I started it on the 1st of May. It was my monogamania start, and I finished it on Wednesday. Crazy, huh? So this will be framed. This is a gift for my best friend. I do still want to add, like, personalize it. I want to work out a little somewhere where I'm just going to put, like, you know, 4 ton something from me. But anyway, oh, I didn't bring a thing. And there it is. And happy, very happy with it. So that black, this is a bit of a pain, but I pretty much, just for anyone if they're not sure how to attack it, I stitched a row of white, then I filled in the black to the top of it, then I stitched the white, and then I did the black and stuff. So it kind of meant the black was just like mindless. And I did actually have an issue from, I think where I showed it last week. I had to frog a whole heap because I'd stuffed up this T. So I had finished this bit and I started stitching. I started stitching here and I realised I'd mucked that T up, which meant this count was off and then this was off. So I just snipped these rows because they were all stitched 1 X at a time, going back and forth by rows, like one stitch and then back. So I just snipped all of the stitches here and pulled them through to the back, frogged out all that bit, restitched that bit, and that way I just, yeah, it wasn't take too long to fix up. But yeah, the strawberries were kind of fun. What did I change? I don't think I changed anything. I mean, I cut from some of the colours. Oh, that 1/1 on 36 count, it's not so much fun. It's cute, but yeah, I can see why people complain about 1/1 on 40. I mean, it's not a lot. I wouldn't want to do heaps. It's just not as much fun, right? And yeah, so it is done. Mostly called for some changes, some yeah, just a combination, yeah. Let's say 1/3 called for Fancy Floss, 1/3 called for DMC, and then 1/3 changed just to, like, I changed the girls quite a bit. I changed, you know, the door handle was a grey which disappears. I changed it to the white. This colour here, I changed. This was not the call for to blend it in too much. Yeah, it's not bad for 13 days of stitching to get that done. And I did pretty much stitch that monogamous, so that's a finish. And what else did I do? And then I had mentioned that I had all the floss now for my Halloween Quaker. So, which I'm doing on 40 count Halloween smoke from linen from Country Stitch. It started on the 19th of April, but I had been waiting for quite a while to get all the different flosses. So I picked that up on Wednesday night and again a bit on Thursday and Friday, and I've got this much done. So pretty much I filled in, there's this house, and this house needed one of the other colours, so black coffee I think, that tree as well. So I finished all of that, and then I have stitched all of this. I need to do the eyes for that batch. They're missing the 4 crows or ravens, and that one I'd already done, these ones. And this, I hated doing this. I think I even emailed Tara. So I got this chart from a swap with Tara, the 805 stitcher, and she and I kind of loosely doing a sale with it. She's stitching hers all called for on Murky, and I'm using combination of called for and fancy flosses from Nina's Threads on the different fabric. I hated doing this. It's not, so it's sort of symmetrical, but the spiders are all a bit quirky. So the spiders are all the same, but these bits are different. Like, these are not the same. And by the time I started, these have like, there's 3 little dots there and there's 2 there. They don't quite line up. I like to stitch things symmetrical things from memory and I couldn't, and it wasn't symmetrical, fully symmetrical, and then even this one was charted differently. It had this moved over in a gap, so I fixed that. Let's say there were chart inconsistencies. I don't like to say they're mistakes. By the time I realised, because this chart's cut off here, that's one page and that's another page, and by the time I got up to here, I realised that these were different. And if I'd had a printout, because I was stitching just from the chart, because I haven't had access to a photocopy or a printer, I just went with it. It's okay. If I'd had the chart printed, I would have used some white out and like a white gel pen and a black pen and it just made it symmetrical. It annoys me, but it's sort of messy enough that you can't really tell, and I hated doing this. The long stitches. This is the one thing where stitching in hand is a bit of a pain in the ass, is when you're doing really long stitches, to keep the tension. Like anything sort of that goes over maybe 3 squares is okay, but once you get up to 4, 5, 6, it starts to get as hard. But it's pretty tidy. Like, I'm happy with it. I just hated stitching it. Especially when I'd moved that, so that changed where that went. And anyway, blah blah blah. I'm very happy with it that it's done. Like, that's stitching, that's fine. Stitching, that's fine. Stitching all of this is fine. Hated stitching that, so at least it's done. And it's the only bloody cobweb motif on this page. But anyway, blah blah blah. I'm happy with it. I probably could have centered it a bit better. I thought I only had 2 inches. I thought I only had 2 inches space this way and 2.5 this way. Apparently I probably had enough for 3, but it's sort of weird because, you know, when you based, if this was true 36 count, that would have been fine, but of course it's shrunk a little bit. Sorry, 40 count, so it's shrunk a little bit. So when you do your measurements, you get them, basically I have more fabric because it's cut to the right size, but it's shrunk a little bit. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter because I'm going to frame it to like here, so it's not a problem. But anyway, I'm really happy with it. It's my first Halloween-y kind of thing ever. I don't really do Halloween, but I do like it, so that's all that matters. So that's my whip. And then I felt like doing something different. I was a bit sick of all the small count and needed a bit of a break. And I had this kitted up, so I thought, why not just freaking start it? So I had Faery Square, a Takes a Village collection from Carolyn Manning Designs, kitted up. And I started it on, so it's on 28 count Summer Coral Lugana from Country Stitch, and I started it on the 16th, so what's that, yesterday? And I stitched from bottom up, so, you know, bear with, it's going to be upside down, and I've already made a couple of changes, but that's where I'm at. So they're meant to be little yellow things in the middle of this, but I stitched most of these little crosses and then realised the centres were meant to be yellow, and you know what, you can't even tell on the chart. You know, you can't tell on the chart. So I am going to finish, I've already finished this section and then do the back stitching around it and then give it a little break, because this can be like, sometimes I just like a bigger count thing just to clear the cobwebs, and it's so much easier to focus on. And I do, definitely stitching on Lugana is really easy, like it doesn't pull the threads like Ada would, and it's so even, and you don't get the, it's nice to have a break from the slubs. I love linen and I love the look of the slubs, but that merino, I had some big slubs. I had to actually pick a bit of fluff out because it was just, they were too big. The Quaker fabric doesn't have that many slubs, but the merino did, so it must have been a particularly slubby piece of the 36 count. Anyway, that's relaxed. That's just gonna go. Yeah, I'll finish that one side and then I'll give that a little break. So a new start. Now my friend Tracy, she has done a little bit of cross stitch, and over the years she's collected a number of bits and pieces and stuff, and I think she used to work for a store and they had a cross stitch section, and so she managed to pick up a whole lot of stuff really cheap, like when they were having sales, or she got sometimes paid partially in product and stuff. So she amassed a bit of a collection. But anyway, I helped her go through it back in January, I think it was, and work out, or just into December it was, yeah, just for her birthday we went through her stuff and helped her sort it out, and that's where I got a lot of my 14 count Ada from that I'm using for the Be Well and Stitch projects. And she sort of go through it and just said to her, look, are you going to stitch this? And she's like, no. So it's like, okay, well, let's do a giveaway with it, or sell it, or just, find another home for it. And then I was around there the other night for dinner, and she said that she'd found another couple of kits. And one of them, she said, I'm going to show you, it's my favourite. She said, I would absolutely love it. And it's an old Lugana kit that she got on sale years and years ago. And basically I just said to her, Tracy, do you want me to stitch this for you? And she's like, would you? And I'm, yes. I said, like, Tracy, you're never going to stitch this. And she probably wouldn't, because she's got a number of, just, it's not for everybody, right? And it's on linen, it's on 30 count linen. And it's, the only bit of back stitching, it's all full cross, one strand over two, so it's going to be really wispy and painterly. I've never stitched on 30 count, certainly not one. My default would have been two. It's all DMC floss. Already, like, it's one of those kits where they actually sort it for you, thank goodness. So, and the linen is a cream linen. And the chart's nice and big, and I said to her, does she mind if I mark the chart? Because I don't have really access to a photocopier. She said, nope. So I said, I will stitch that for you. And I've never stitched this kind of chart. It's not the sort of thing I would ever stitch for myself, but I think it'll be quite fun. So yeah, we're just going to do that for her. And I said to her, a couple of weeks, it'll be fine. The chart is pretty freaking massive, to be fair. There's no details. So it says 38 by 45 centimeters. So what's that, about 14 by 17 inches is the fabric, but 15 stitches per inch, because it's one strand over two on 30 count. Anyway, I'm going to do that for her, because I think that'll be lovely. She already knows where she wants to put it on her wall, so yeah, I've decided I'm just going to do that. So Tracy, it's been made formal now. I'm definitely stitching you your Lynette chart, and it's called Enjoying a Summer's Evening, and I'm pretty sure it's well out of print. So I probably will start it this week, just because I can. And let's say I'm doing a Mad Mania kind of start. So, and speaking again of Tracy, this was something I'm going to do a little giveaway, just because, and it's not like the most exciting giveaway. It's a vintagey chart, but someone might want it. And probably the odds are pretty good that if you put your name in for it, you might get it, because I don't think it's everyone's cup of tea. And this was Tracy's as well, so I'm sure she won't mind me giving this away, given that I'm going to stitch her Lanata for her. It's a lavender and lace 7, called the First Angel of Light, and it's just in a wee bag. One of the, back in the olden days, where they just printed a sort of photo or a card. It feels like it's a card, not a photo. So yeah, just the picture and the chart. and they're usually pretty big. These are certainly not my cup of tea. From a, like, they're just, their dresses are so big, they're just not my cup of tea, but somebody might like it. So it's suggested to stitch it on 16 count Sage Ada or 32 count natural Belfast linen. Obviously you can stitch it whenever you like. You can make it a little bit more modern by putting it on a fancy over-dyed fabric. There's the colours, all DMC, no beads. There's a bit of metallic gold in there on the stars. You could sub them out for beads or a toile. You can't even see them. Oh, they're barely visible. Or leave them out completely, because if you look at the picture, you can't even see them. They're really, really hard to see up here. But anyway, be probably easy enough too to swap out the ribbon colour. Anyway, if you're interested in stitching this, if you like this, to go in for the giveaway, just mention Angel in the comment. So ANGEL, mention Angel, and I will do a giveaway next week from any, just do a random comment picker. As I said, good odds, because I don't have that many followers. All the usual things, preferably be a subscriber. Sorry, dust on my iPad. Be a subscriber, and be able for me to send you mail. And don't say giveaway or free, just mention Angel and I'll do a draw for that. So that's sponsored by the lovely Tracy, who had that in her stash, but she's not going to stitch it. And let's pass it on. That's it. So I've managed to keep that just on 30 minutes, just over 30 minutes. I am going to do a bit of housework this afternoon. It's lunchtime, 12:30ish, I guess. What is it? It's 11:11. It's not lunchtime yet. I got up a bit earlier this morning. So I'm going to do a bit of housework and then listen to some podcasts. I'm a bit behind on my podcasts. And then, probably start enjoying the summer's evening this evening, and then plans this week, that new start. I'll finish that one section of Faery Square, and might pick up my Halloween Quaker or my Quaker Seasons of Friendship. So that gives me 28 count, 30 count and some 40 count. Gives me a bit of a mix of size for this week. I hope everybody's doing fine and enjoying your stitching. Thanks to everyone who leaves me a comment. Very happy to touch base with you all. Slowly finding other Kiwi stitches through either other FLOSSTUBE or mentions on FLOSSTUBE or comments. It's kind of nice to know there's more of us out there. Don't know, next week I might not be here, might be in another location, we'll see. If I don't have a video next week, it's because I'm driving somewhere, but I should be able to, at the very least, do a really quick one, as long as I've got an internet connection. So that's it. As always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.